Hey everyone, today we are working on a custom order. I love how this ring turned out. It's so cute and it was kind of a simple little design, so I think if you guys are learning how to silversmith, this might be a good little beginner ring to kind of try out. If you guys notice that sometimes there's really quiet spots during the video, it's because I do film these during lives, TikTok lives, and I do mute them because I'm just talking about other things and things like that, reading comments and things. So if you guys want to watch the lives, go check those out over on TikTok. Same handle as here, Branded and Wild. So I do mute them and then I come over here and do a voiceover. I don't watch the whole thing. I kind of fast forward and then add commentary when it's needed. But anyway, so to get to the point, here we are wrapping the stone around with the bezel wire. This is a bezel wire I rolled out, so I don't know the exact size, and I'm not exactly sure what type of stone this is. It's either Kingman turquoise or what do you say? I think it was Egyptian turquoise. I've had it for a really long time, so it's kind of hard for me to remember back that long. It's probably been like 4 or 5 years since I've bought this piece of turquoise. So we're just wrapping it, doing a simple little wrap today, and then putting it on a wire. So, oh, another thing too, I'm just marking it here to where to cut, and then we're going to take our snips and cut it. Another thing is I had people requesting to do the giveaway and a raffle. So if you guys follow me on YouTube, we're doing a giveaway right now until I hit 1,000 subscribers. And then we are also doing a raffle. And to sign up for the raffle, you want to go over to my website, Branded and Wild, and you can sign up there for the raffle. And here I was just making sure that bezel wire met up. I just did that and then set it right here on this block. I did cut quite a bit out just because it was a little bit more time wasted than we needed. And what I just put on there is borax mixed with water, which I use as my flux. Here's my solder. I use easy solder, and this is a 22 gauge wire. But yeah, so if you guys want to sign up for the raffle, you can go over there and sign up. And then, let's see, we're going to run that until we have 1,000 subscribers over here as well. And then we'll pick a winner. And we're just soldering that. You want to solder it when it starts to turn red. And you just want to tap it real quick, and that solder should flow pretty quick. You should probably use hard solder so it doesn't come separated if you're doing a lot of detail work. I always use easy just because I'm lazy, which ends up not working out in my favor, and I have to redo it. So don't be like me. Do as I say, not as I do. It'll help you out in the long run, I promise. I always get it mixed up and lose it and misplace it, and that's why I don't use it. Because I'm just trying to grab whatever's closest. I know it probably doesn't look like it, but I do try to work as fast as I can, especially when I'm doing things like the lives. Here we're just making sure that bezel wire is wrapped all the way around that stone, nice and snug. Yeah, and if you guys hear some just quiet times, that's just because I do fast forward through some of it, especially if some of the videos, especially if I'm doing like the same thing multiple times. There's not really any reason to explain it multiple times. So it just kind of makes it so I can pump out these videos a little bit faster so you guys can learn from them a little bit faster as well. Another thing is also, you guys are constantly asking me where I get my stones from. I do have that in my starter kit. If you guys don't know, I have a silversmithing starter kit, and I do have a mystery stone subscription, and I'm possibly going to work on getting some stones on my website that will be available. That's in the making. I don't really share too much about where I get my stones because I need to be able to get my stones. So yeah. If you guys do want stones, I do have a mystery cabochon subscription. You guys can sign up for that. I do try to have unique shapes and sizes and stuff like that in there. If anyone does cab stones, you guys are always welcome to reach out to me. If I enjoy working with you, I don't mind sharing that information. I just don't want to give away. I don't have a ton of cabochon people right now, so I don't really want to give them all away. I know R2 Rocks is a good one on IG, so maybe check him out. I do buy a lot of stones just off of Etsy and stuff like that too. Etsy, eBay. But I do also get stones rough and cab them myself. Like all of the lightning bolts and the heart shapes in the Aurora Opal, I actually shape those. And I do try to get those in the starter kits. So if you guys like those, that's one place you can go to get them. And also purchasing the starter kits really helps to support the channel. Here we're just soldering it, put borax, flux, that easy solder. I use 22 gauge wire, if you guys are wondering. I like the thinner wire so it's not like putting too much too fast down. And then we're just cutting it out. But yeah, so if you guys want to support the channel and you guys want me to post more of these videos, purchasing that and getting that as a monthly subscription helps the channel, helps you guys make money, because obviously you guys can turn the stones into something and hopefully sell it and make money on it. I do try to get really good stones in those and fun, unique shapes also. If you were to buy the stones individually, you'd definitely be paying more for them. I buy them in bulk, so that's why I can kind of divvy it up a little bit more, and then I do shape some of them myself. So we're just cutting all the way around. We want to make sure we get all those little sharp spots off of it. Anything that's not going to be part of the ring design. Here we're just taking the Dremel and going around it. We want to have kind of a rough bit. Make sure to get all that sharp stuff off of there, all this extra silver. And you want to make sure that you don't see the line between the bezel wire and the back plate. That's how far you want to go. And then you want to go back over it with something else and get the scratches out from this tool that you're sanding disc, whatever, I don't know, whatever they're called. Get the lines off of from this. Yeah. You guys know what I mean. Or you don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing you. You want to use this Dremel attachment, and then you want to use one that's a finer grit and get the lines out that this one's leaving in it. Just want to go all the way around it. It was so small and so hard to hold on to. All right, and this is our next Dremel attachment that we're using to get the last scratches out. We're also cleaning that back plate to get it ready to solder the band part of the ring on it. Taking our mandrel, wrapping the wire around the mandrel so we can get the correct size. We do want to make it about a size smaller so that way you can take the hammer and make it bigger. She wanted it in 9.5, so I made it an 8.5, and then we'll cut the band, solder it on, and hammer it to be bigger, because there's always going to be little gaps in the wire. Take our snips and cut it. You want to bring that wire, the edges close together. Overlay them. Sometimes it's easier to like bend it back and forth. However you have to do it to get it close together. If you don't have a third hand, you definitely want to get one, because that makes life a lot easier to hold it when you're trying to solder the ring band part to it. It took me a hot minute to get this one to line up where I wanted it to go. We finally got it there though. That was just borax, flux mixture, water. I like to tap it on the band and let it flow down. Sometimes I will tap it again on the band if it doesn't flow down though, or on the back plate if it doesn't go down. And then I like to let it sit for a few minutes before taking it off the soldering block and putting it and quenching it. So I just let it sit for a few seconds, let it cool down. It's looking so cute. And here we are hammering it to make sure that it's the size that we want it to be. I do like to turn it around and hammer it again going the other way, just to make sure that it is the correct size and not bent or anything like that. Look at how adorable this little stone is in there. I love it. It's so cute. It's gonna look so pretty when it's done. It is done now. It looks gorgeous. I promise I wasn't flipping you guys off, by the way. Just showing the ring. I've had a few people ask me where I get that vise, and I just get it off of Amazon. Very handy to have. If you don't have a vise like this, so you can put it on your mandrel and you can do it that way. That was just Gorilla Glue to help to stop it from wiggling around the stone. It might help hold the stone in a little bit, but it's mostly to prevent it from wiggling around. Putting the stone in, and then shavings are to protect the stone, because if you have solder below the stone and you try to set the stone on solder, which is a metal, when it's cooled down, it's gonna break that stone. So it helps protect that stone. And then if you hit it against anything or when you're setting it, just kind of helps give it a little bit of cushion too. It can also help lift that stone a little bit if it sits too low. So sometimes you'll see me put some in and then take some out. There was a little lip on the ring, and I didn't want that to show when the ring was done and it was set and everything. So that's why I went back and decided to sand the bezel a little bit. And then I think I took the shavings back out and the glue back out and redid it. And then I put too much in, so then I had to take a little bit out. Yeah, here we're taking it out. Putting a little bit more glue in there. A little bit of shavings. Too much shavings. You can tell it's too much because that stone's not really going in there too well. Sitting too high. Drop the stone on my lap. Oh, actually, it just fell on the desk, I think. Sometimes I like to sand the edges of the stone because it just goes in a little bit better. This stone, I didn't want to like hammer it too much or anything because it's turquoise and like a thin piece of turquoise, and so it would have broke it. So I was trying to be extra careful with this one. Super gentle if I could be. Taking some of that extra shavings out of there. We finally got it to a height that we liked, I think. Putting a little bit more glue in there just so it doesn't wiggle around because that other glue kind of dried up a little bit. It's one thing I like about that glue is it works really, really fast. It's just a Gorilla Glue. I love these abrasive brushes. I just did a video on these so you guys can see what to look up and everything. And I just remembered I didn't put the link in below, and I need to, so I'll try to go back and do that too. Remind me in the comments if you guys see it later and I didn't do it. I tell myself I need to do a lot of things, and then there's just a lot of things I need to do, and then sometimes I don't get it all done. My ADD kicks in, and I'm like, squirrel. I feel like I'm one person trying to get a lot of stuff done a lot of times, which is okay. But sometimes I slack in certain areas. Okay, so this is liver of sulfur. I already had some on my desk and I remember it after, so I tapped my brush into that just to make it a little bit more of a liquid. So after this, you want to put it in baking soda, and then that neutralizes it. You do want to let it sit on there for a few minutes just so it has time to work and darken. If you put the liver of sulfur in water and then tap whatever you're working on in that to like let it sit in there for a few minutes, you can do that as well. Just make sure that if you put it in there and then in the baking soda and water, not to put it back into the liver of sulfur, because it'll just neutralize your liver of sulfur. I've had people ask about that and they were neutralizing it. And go all the way around the ring. I like using Fabuluster or Zam. I didn't have it there today, so I used something else. I think it's like Luxie or something. I don't know. It's something I've had for a really long time that I don't really use. I definitely like Fabuluster and Zam. And then just one more reminder, we have the giveaway going on. So just follow here, subscribe. I can't go live here until I have 1,000 subscribers. We have the cabochon subscriptions. Go do that if you guys want me to keep posting videos. That just helps me supplement my income, so I can take the time to go back through and edit these, because this is extremely time consuming. I like doing it though. I really do. I think it's a lot of fun to be able to help people learn. I didn't have this kind of stuff when I was learning, so it was a lot of challenge trying to figure out what I was doing. Another way, I do a lot of hand cleaning too, guys, and another thing that you can do is you can actually get a tumbler and stainless steel shot and put soap and water in it and put your piece in there, and that will clean it. I do it by hand because I'm teaching you guys how to do it. And I'm also doing them during TikTok live, so I need it to be done sooner than later, so I don't really have the time to let it sit in a tumbler. I have one that I really like though. Maybe I'll do a video on it. It takes about 10 minutes to tumble in the one I have, so I highly suggest that specific one. I'll do a video on it if I remember. Feel free to send me reminders if I don't do it. Let's see. I think I'm just washing it off here. Yeah, I was just washing it off. So I cut out a bunch of nothingness. And here we have it, the finished product. Yay. Turned out super cute. I love it. I think the customer's going to love it too. Can't wait to send it off. Anyways, guys, this is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go check out those subscriptions. Help support the channel. Follow, like, subscribe, all the stuff. Come watch us and hang out on TikTok as well. See you guys. Bye.